Greetings, one and all, and welcome to the newest segment here on the AJ Legend Experience, as I like to call the films of Tarantino. And what the films of Tarantino is I'm going to review movies either directed, or written by Quentin Tarantino. And the first movie that I will be doing is his most recent film, which is The Hateful Eight, which came out in December of last year. The Hateful Eight stars an all star cast of Samuel L. Jackson, who plays a bounty hunter. You have Kurt Russell, who plays a hangman. You have Jennifer Jason Leigh, who plays the prisoner. You have Walton Goggins, who plays the supposed sheriff. You have Damien Pachir, who is the Mexican. You have Tim Roth, who is the Englishman. You have Michael Madsen, who plays the cowpuncher. And you have Bruce Dern, who plays the Confederate. And these characters make up the aforementioned Hateful Eight. Now, what I like about this movie, simple. The interactions these characters have with each other, the conversations they have with each other. They're just so well written. Tarantino is amazing at writing characters and writing dialogue for his characters and giving his actors a lot of time to shine, giving his actors time to shine. And Tarantino is one of those rare directors that just places the camera there and it's just lets his actors just talk, and they talk, and the conversations are so interesting and you're so riveted by what they're saying that you forget that they're just talking and that there's no action going on because they're just like they suck you right in. Tarantino's dialogue and the way he writes his dialogue and the way he directs his actors, they just pull you into whatever universe he is creating, and you're just like enthralled the entire time. And Hateful Eight is no different. Of course, the Hateful Eight, in my opinion, is like is a movie that's a little bit out of Tarantino's range, which is good because he mastered it. It's pretty much a it's pretty much what if it's pretty much a sorry. The Hateful Eight is basically Quentin Tarantino meets Clue. Like it's basically what would happen if Quentin Tarantino directed Clue. The old Clue movie that was based on the Clue game. Try. And it is so much fun. Like just like you're on the edge of your seat and you're guessing and you're thinking like who is it? Who did it? Who done it? Who is this? Because the whole idea of this movie is that these characters they cook on a blizzard. Yeah. And they take shelter in this haberdashery. But when they get there, they notice that something is wrong right off the bat. The person who owns the haberdashery, her name is Meanie, is nowhere to be found. Her man, Sweet Dave, is also nowhere to be found. So pretty much, and it's basically the characters are just like, something is not right here. Meanie and Dave should be here. They're not here. The people who are in this cabin, they're clearly hiding something, but they just don't know what it is they're hiding. And pretty much the whole movie is them trying to figure out. It's pretty much figuring out what happened. And of course, you find out what happened. You find out that Jennifer Jason Leigh is in cahoots with the Mexican, the Englishman, the cowpuncher, because they're part of a gang, and they're part of a gang, and they're trying to rescue Jennifer Jason Leigh's character from Kurt Russell, who I said plays the hangman because Jennifer Jason Leigh's a criminal. She's going to get hanged, so they're trying to save her from that. All the while, they took Shep up in this haberdashery as a way to trap them and kill them, kill Russell and save the sister. I'm sorry, and save Jennifer Jason Leigh. Of course, the leader of the gang who orchestrated the whole thing is Jennifer Jason Leigh's brother, played in a cute cameo by Channing Tatum. And when I say cute cameo, it's more like, oh look, it's Channing Tatum. What are you doing here? What's going on, guy? So yeah, so that's that. So that's pretty much the basic premise of the movie. And of course, throughout the course of the movie, you're just crossing it off like, okay, it's not this guy, it's not that guy. And then a crucial scene happens where someone poisons a coffee pot, and instantly, right off the bang, two characters are immediately killed off. Much to my chagrin, because one of the characters that got killed off was Kurt Russell's character, and I just got, I was like, oh, really? Why'd you have to kill off Kurt Russell? Because I was having so much fun with his character. I love Kurt Russell. I'm a big Kurt Russell fan. Like fucking Snake Plissken, and he's in this movie, and he plays the Hangman, John Ruth, like I said, and he just had. And this was Kurt Russell's first major movie back in a long. This is Kurt Russell's first major movie in a long time, and Kurt Russell still commands the screen. I mean, every time Kurt Russell's on screen, I just listen to everything he says because he's such a phenomenal actor. And Kurt Russell's natural look that he has, like this man. I believe that Kurt Russell is a man who time traveled from the can time travel to the West and fit right in the second he steps out of a time pod, because his entire look, his mannerisms, his posture is clearly Western. It's very indicative of. It's very inspired by John Wayne, which is and which is awesome. Which is and Kurt Russell pulls it off, masterfully. So yeah, Kurt Russell's the main highlight, is one of the highlights. Samuel L. Jackson, a Tarantino regular, he is always a highlight in a Tarantino movie because he also has the best lines to say. I mean, yeah, his roles kind of run together because it's just Sam Jackson playing Sam Jackson, and this movie is no different. But Sam Jackson is fun to watch, especially as the bounty hunter, and he has this very weird monologue that he says to Bruce Dern's character, where he pretty much tells this Bruce Dern's character a story about how he killed his son, and how he had him stripped down to his bare ass and had him walk for 2 hours in the freezing cold, and he bribed Bruce Dern's son with a blanket. I don't even want to say because it's just so. I was watching the movie. I was just like, you had to go there, okay. What he did was he would have given Bruce Dern's son a blanket if Bruce Dern's son would have sucked his dick, which he did, and he still got no blanket. So pretty much, Samuel Jackson's character just tortured this guy. Like I was like, listen, I know this white. I know this. I know you don't like this white guy, but Jesus Christ, did you have to go there? I mean, you could have shot the bastard and just be over and done with. Instead, you took it to the extra mile. I mean, I was sitting in the theaters like, oh man, oh, you went there. So every time I was like, oh, it instantly brought back flashes of Pulp Fiction when the Gimp was raping Vin Rames' character, and I'm just like, oh no. But it doesn't take away from the movie at all because it's. But I also think that story was also a lie because I think Sam Jackson said it just to get. I think that Sam Jackson's character just said it to get under the skin of Bruce Dern, so that Sam Jackson's character could have an excuse to shoot the man point blank range. So I think he just made the whole thing up to get at him, and he was just thinking of the most just the most ridiculous thing to say to trigger something in this man to pick up a gun and shoot him. So like it does. I don't know. Like the scene doesn't really play. Like I don't know if you like it's up to interpretation. The way I interpret it is like he just told his fake story to like egg this guy on. Of course, others can say, "Oh, he's telling the truth." I think he was just making it up. Anyway, But anyway, even during the monologue, like the music, by the way, in this movie is fantastic. It's the first Tarantino movie to have an original score written for it, done by Ennio Morricone, who is a world famous composer, especially for the old westerns of the '60s, particularly the Clint Eastwood westerns like The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and etc. 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 So his score in this movie is great. Uh, a lot of the characters, like I said, they have very good exchanges, and they also have the little bit moments, like James Parks, who plays Obi, is a minor character is a minor character in the movie, but he has some cool. He has some little things to do. He plays like a stagecoach driver who drives, the hangman, the prisoner, and who drives Russell, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Sam Jackson to the haberdashery. But he also has his little moments. I'm sorry, and I almost forgot the sheriff. That's right, the sheriff. The sheriff also joins. Now, the sheriff played by Walton Goggins, uh, Sam Jackson, and Kurt Russell. They both instantly do not believe that this man is the sheriff because he has a history of being a criminal and something like that. So they instantly do not believe that he is the sheriff, and it's hilarious. And I think Walton Goggins is a very underrated actor. And I think it's really, really funny. And it's funny that he, like, in almost in like a lot of the scenes, he's like, "Well, I'm the sheriff. You could ask Obi." Oh, and he tells you, like, "I'm the sheriff," and he says, "Obi, you're a witness. I am the sheriff, and that if these people kill me, when we get to Red Rock, you have to be my witness that they tried to kill me, so that I can punish them." And it's hilarious, and I think it's like a little funny how in almost like in like certain scenes, like they still like go back and forth. Like, you're the sheriff, not the sheriff, but it's done in a funny, non-annoying way because they don't do it every 5 seconds, and they don't beat that dead horse. Like they know when to space that joke out, and every time you do it, you get a laugh out of it, which is good. Walton Goggins is a extremely underrated actor, like in terms of like his comedic timing, which I think is pretty funny, especially in this movie. He's great, uh, and even when he shares a scene with Jackson and Russell, particularly when they're in the stagecoach driving, to the haberdashery, they have like a conversation about Sam Jackson's character being yellow, and they cover the history of of the time during the war with Mannix's father and stuff like that. And you're just enthralled by that conversation, that three-way conversation that's going on there, because it sucks you right in, and you're like, like it's an exposition, like it's exposition dump, but it's exposition dump done in a creative way where it's like I'm enthralled by the conversation, what's going on, and I want to hear more of these people just talking and interacting with each other. And that's what the Hateful Eight is. The Hateful Eight is a experience. When you watch it, you're experiencing something. Like you're getting something out of it. You're getting something good out of it. You're getting a Tarantino thing out of it. Now, I know Tarantino comes under a lot of criticism, and he's not for everyone. I understand that. I agree. I don't look down on people who don't like Tarantino. He's an acquired taste. He really is an acquired taste. You either like him or you hate him. I personally love him, but I know others don't like him, or others are like, he's had some good stuff here and there, blah blah blah. And not every movie he does is a great. Not every movie Tarantino has made is awesome, but they're still good, especially to me. And as this series continues, you'll be getting opinions on every single movie that I'll be doing about his. But aside from that, Hateful Eight is a 9 out of 10. I love this movie a lot. It's become a regular watching thing of mine since it came out and since I bought it. Definitely give it. If you're a Tarantino fan, give it a watch because it has everything you want. Awesome directing, witty writing, awesome characters, amazing character exchanges, and twists and turns that keep you on the edge of your seat. So definitely, Hateful Eight, 9 out of 10. Tarantino fan. If you're a Tarantino lover, give it a watch. Even if you're not a Tarantino fan, just give it a watch anyway. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't, but definitely deserves a watch. Anyway, I am AJ Legend, and I will see you again next time on the Films of Tarantino.